Today we got to see even more of what's going on with Hello Kitty's 50th anniversary celebration in Hello Kitty Island Adventure. We got the publicly available trailer today. I have some additional images from the press kit with a little bit more information. There was a trivia game in the official Discord, and then they shared a few more things we'll see in the event. So first, let's go through this trailer and see what we can see. This is the very start of the trailer. We can see all of these different outfits that we saw in those previous images. It looks like this stage is going to be the event stand for the event and be in that usual second event space. We get our first look at the bubbles and at this avatar palette and that Hello Kitty outfit that we now know our character will have and Hello Kitty will have. So it looks like we'll be popping the bubbles sort of similar to a challenge course or the Color Blaze Carnival. So it looks like we don't actually have to pick them up, we just have to run through them to get them, which is kind of nice. I wonder if they will be always on or if you have to do it in a certain amount of time or something like that. Here's a look at even more of those outfits, and we have that 50th anniversary shake in the middle. It'd be nice if we got to see the bubbles all the time or decorate with them, but I'm thinking we just do the running through them. But there's that bow and the signature dress we had seen, the gold dress and bow, Hello Kitty's main outfit, the suit and the top hat, and then our character wearing the same dress as Hello Kitty. If we keep going, then we get to see this set of items, and this set of items we haven't been able to see yet. And here's where I do have a little bit more information. We'll see in a second in the trailer. So before we heard about there being this vintage collection, in the press release it says that new collectible cards are scattered all around the in-game world to celebrate the history of Hello Kitty. And they tell us that every few days Cinnamoroll will uncover a new set, so we will need to play throughout the event period in order to collect them all. They tell us to venture out and find them all to see nostalgic artwork. One piece for every year of Hello Kitty. So this is that 51 piece collection we saw in the last video where almost everything is a square, and they tell us that the 50th gala outfit awaits those who find every card. So those little squares that we see in this image, those are the collectible cards, and if we get them all, there is an additional outfit as a reward. So then in addition to these cards, it looks like we have some of these vintage items. The press release also tells us to collect commemorative bows around the island to trade in for original style items. Original styles and caps, so that's the official name of this collection, like the iconic milk bottle, fishbowl, phone, and coin purse. And we can also see a drum and an alarm clock in this image and Hello Kitty's original style outfit. And if we keep going, we can see these cards are going to be rotating on the ground, it looks like. Once we collect them, they turn into a glowing bow. And then in addition, here are those commemorative bows that we collect. So those are the ones that we'll trade in for her original style items. And then we get our first look at what's in the event stand. So there are 4 different avatar palettes. It looks like we have an arch, a chair, a bed, a floor, and a lamp in that bubble style. And then we see our 6 original style items, and then more in this bubble collection with that piano that we saw in the previous image. And that topiary and the tree are both here as items, as well as that vanity, and then an additional table, maybe an ottoman or a stool, and the wall. So it looks like there's going to be 22 items that we trade in for at the event stand, and some of them are going to require bubbles and some of them are going to require bows. In addition, the press release tells us that when we find and pop bubbles daily, we can unlock event-themed recipes at each cooking station, including the 50th anniversary cake that we saw in that previous image yesterday, and the 50th anniversary latte. When we keep going, we can see a lot of these items displayed. That little goldfish in the bowl looks so cute. We can see the wall and the floor. We've got the full bubble set here with all of those different cushy chairs, the stool, the vanity, the table, player character in the outfit. Is this an animated wallpaper by any chance? It is here. So you can see the animated wallpaper is moving. It's got a slightly bubbly, iridescent look to it, and it moves across the walls. In this shot, we get to see that piano item and the arch, that new tree item. We were told in Discord today that the glasses over here that the character is wearing are actually a leak for a future item coming to the game. As we keep going, we can see additional outfits. We've already seen these 2 outfits, and both of them can be worn by the player. We can see that Dear Daniel, a visitor, is going to have a new outfit. So if you don't like him in his usual visitor uniform, you can have him wearing this this instead, and that it ends with an animated version of what we saw yesterday, with all the bubbles bouncing, and the thing we didn't get to see very much of were those bow blossoms. Now, in addition to this, I have a little bit more information and a few more pictures that were shared across the press release and Discord. So these are teasers and promo images, not leaks. So we have a little bit of information about the flowers, including some pictures since those were left out of the trailer. Those come from Discord. And then I have a little bit more information about Hello Kitty's surprise birthday party quest. That comes from the press release, and I do have a picture that goes with it. It doesn't show you the end of the quest, but it does explain the quest, and if that's information that you don't want to have right now, I'll let you know before I share it. And from Discord, we also have an additional recipe. But let me start with those flowers. We get one of our first looks at the new bow blossoms. Here we can see at least 3 different colors of them. None of these seem to have a pattern on them. We don't know for sure if these are going to be our default colors or not, but this gives you an idea of what they're going to look like. There's something about the way that these look that remind me of tiny candies or plastic buttons. And we also have an image that may be showing us the effect on the flower. So Chelsea shared this image where we have the original flower on the right and what appears to be an iridescent or pearlescent effect happening on the left side. So it looks like this might be the effect we have on flowers. It's affecting not only the bow part but also the stem and leaves, so that means it should be pretty easy to see if the effect is active on the flower even before it blooms. I'm assuming we're gonna get the effect in the same way we get patterns. What we don't know, however, is the effect taking the same place as a pattern, or can flowers now have not only a color, a type, and a pattern, but also an effect? So could we see a warm pink and white ombre iridescent bow blossom, or is it going to be ombre or iridescence? And is there an equivalent with iridescence or any future effects that we get with flowers where they could mix 2 different colors, the way you could have, say, a red and yellow ombre? Could we see like a warm pink and green iridescence? We still don't know the name of this effect or exactly how it'll work, but we'll be able to start experimenting with it as soon as Saturday. The entire event will run through November 15th, so we'll have from October 19th through November 15th for the entire event. And it sounds like during that time we'll be getting the flowers, the bows, and the bubbles. And then a little bit into the event, I think it was the 26th we said yesterday, we'll have that Hello Kitty birthday quest. But before we talk about that quest, let's look at one more of the recipes that we're going to be able to see. Chelsea also shared this image, which appears to be some sort of 50th bubble crepe. So I'm thinking egg pan station. It is a crepe, so we probably need to use flour and bubbles? Something like that'll probably make this. So I wonder how many new recipes we're gonna end up with. How many do we currently have in the various cooking stations that we don't know what they are yet? Are they all going to be bubbles, or might some of those be for future events? This is one of the press images. It looks a lot like the trailer, where we can also see that latte, what it looks like when it's placed. It's got that shimmery purple look to it. And I think a lot of the furniture and a lot of the clothing are gonna have these different really cool effects to them. And depending on the device you have, you'll probably see more or less of those effects. Just like with the Friendship Festival, if I played on my Mac, everything was incredibly sparkly. If I played on my iPad, it had the switch effect where you just don't get to see all the sparkles. If you play across multiple devices, you may want to look at this new set, including the outfits, to see which device gives you the best look at some of those fancy effects. And now this is the part where I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that quest with Hello Kitty. It's not a ton, but it does give you the general plot line of what it's going to be, just in case you don't want to know that. In the press release, it calls it a brand new permanent quest line, so I'm wondering if this is going to be repeatable next year or how this works. But it says My Melody wants to throw Hello Kitty a surprise birthday party, but needs to find a venue that Hello Kitty won't notice. After a few false starts, she lands on the attic of her gift shop, a brand new room in the game, perfect for photos. So I'm wondering if this is also going to unlock an additional photo spot, or a brand new photo mechanic that we can decorate the photo spot. It tells us we'll have to clean and decorate the attic until it's just right for Hello Kitty's surprise party. And then we have a picture of that initial attic. It looks like this is what it's gonna look like when we get there. You can see all the things that we'll have to clean up. It sounds like we'll get to decorate it. In the last video, one of the things had said that we'd need to be collecting decorations. So I'm wondering if those decorations are related to this quest and to this space and how that's gonna work too. Are those going to be separate from the furniture items we're getting with the bows and the bubbles? Are we going to need to craft Hello Kitty's birthday balloons or 50th anniversary balloons? Will there be other? So maybe it'll be finding locations, cleaning up the location, decorating, actually having the party. Maybe we'll have to cook some of the things to bring to the party. And that quest, I think, is what starts October 26th. So we'll probably try to stream that and or make it into a video. But once we see everything in the event and how it actually works, all the prices for all the items, how many days you're gonna need to play, how many bubbles and how many bows you'll get each day, and learn a little bit more about the release cycle for those cards, I'm sure I'll make a video guide to the event and post that on the channel. I think that's everything new for today in Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Subscribe for more Hello Kitty Island Adventure content. I'm planning to stream this event when it goes live on Saturday morning. Turn on notifications to find out the next time we go live. Hope to see you there.